Hey color lovers, welcome back to Color Sense with Jen. For the last 2 videos, we've been working on this adult coloring book page. Check out the links below. As for today, we're going to be working on this guy. Just a refresher, today I'm using gouache paint, which is kind of a mixture, in my opinion, between like an acrylic paint and a watercolor. You can use the paint and the pigment straight out of the tube for a nice concentrated color, or you can dilute it and get more of a watercolor effect, like I'm doing right here. Also, if the paint dries and you want to come back and use it again later, you can reactivate the paint by diluting it with water. This medium is really growing on me. Did you know the earliest use of gouache dates back to the 9th century Persia? Although it was often described as watercolor, they were predominantly examples of gouache. And the term gouache was derived from the Italian Guazzo, also referring to the opaque paint. Guazzo is Italian for mud. I don't think it looks anything like mud. It wasn't until later in 18th century France the term gouache was applied to the water media. Thanks, Wikipedia! I learned something new today. Historically, it looks like gouache paint is generally used in mixed media artwork. It looks like it's used for adding fine detail to pastel paintings, or with ink drawings, or in conjunction with actual watercolor. By mixing an opaque white pigment with a watercolor that was based with gum arabic, you could get gouache. Having no idea what gum arabic is, I decided to look it up. Gum arabic is actually the sap of an acacia tree, and it's used as a binder in many things like food, painting and artwork, ceramics, photography, printmaking, and all sorts of good things. Anyway, back to the paint. Once the industry began producing watercolor commercially for anybody to buy, they also included with the watercolor palette a white paint called Chinese white. And the purpose of this was to be able to mix it with the watercolors and get that opaque color. Wow, and here I thought gouache was something new, and it's been around for centuries. I had no idea. Last time, we painted a copper-banded butterfly fish, and you can find that video in the link. I'll include that up above and down in the description below. And today, as far as I can find, this fish is called the Foureye Butterfly Fish, and it's found in the Western Atlantic from Massachusetts to Bermuda and the West Indies. At least that's the closest fish species that I could find that looks similar to this drawing. And if it wasn't, someone feel free to correct me in the comments. But as far as the coloration, that's what I went off of for a reference. The obvious eyeball-looking spot found on the back side of this fish has been mistaken by predators to to be an eyeball. And it's no wonder because it looks rather like an eyeball. So it has been known for predators to take a bite out of the backside of him. Go figure, I guess the backside is better than the front side. In the last video we painted the Chelman fish and I named him Charles the Chelman. So this guy, I'm gonna name him Mimic because his eyeball spot mimics that of an eyeball. Again, let me know what name you would give him. That about wraps it up for me today. Let me know how your gouache paintings turn out and what kind of adventures you have while trying new medium. I'd love to hear from you, and don't forget to subscribe for all the color you can handle.